It's Friday night. It's Smackdown. There's a lot to get out. Doug's here. Let's clear power. Let's get out. First off, though, before we do anything else, though, let us have a moment to acknowledge the passing of Alpha and Hawaii. All the best to him and the family, to Roman Reigns and the rest of the family as well, though. On today's show, Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller go at it, get saved by Cody. Street Profits are going to face the Bloodline next week. Nia Jax Celebrations turns to hell. But today we're going to start off with Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa meeting face to face. And a lot happened here. A lot more than I thought was going to happen, and not as much happened that I thought was going to happen. Solo come on down the ring. Basically says, acknowledge me. Oh, nobody acknowledges him because they all laugh at him for that stuff. Calls out Roman Reigns, tells him he wants, he has to come get it himself. To the Tribal Chief. Tribal Chief comes on down with his excellent music, gets in the ring.
It's on Spotify now.
It is. It is. I saw that.
It released this morning.
I heard that too. Solo takes off the Ulafala, passes over to our friend Tama Tonga, the MFT, sends him away, just into the corner, and him and Roman Reigns go at it. And what happened after that was Roman Reigns eventually getting power, getting shield bombed through a table, and Solo standing tall over top. After, of course,
we're burying the lead.
Well, no, not yet. But before all that, though, Jacob Fatu ended up coming in and causing a lot of stir. Roman had the hula follow in his hand.
He put it around his neck.
Until Jacob Fatu came in, boot and all.
Maybe he did break his ankle.
Yeah.
Or he's just selling it.
Yeah. One or the other. And
I think he's selling it because he was moving just fine in that.
Yeah, boot. He was. So he had taken out Roman Reigns, which caused Solo Sikoa at the end of it to stand tall over Roman. And I would tell you, I'm surprised it didn't happen. But I'm not surprised that. So lots of stuff ended up happening in this. Solo standing tall over Roman Reigns. I'm not really surprised by this. But you mentioned, though, before off air that you're very surprised that Jimmy Uso did not come back out. And I said I was surprised that Hikuleo didn't come out.
So this is where we're bringing me in for the episode, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. All right. No, Doug, how you doing or anything like that?
Well, we all know how Doug's doing.
Yeah. It's good to be here. Anyways. So yeah. Obviously, it would look a little one-sided if Roman laid them out for a second week in a row.
Yeah, that would look a little strange.
So you knew that Solo was going to get payback this week.
Yeah.
And you take out Tongaloa, you bring in Jacob Fatu, hurt in quotation marks.
He's hurt.
Yeah. For our audio listeners, I'm doing air quotations. He's hurt. But I thought when Roman hit the ring, it's like 9:50. I'm like, there's no way this beatdown's gonna last 9 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, someone's coming.
Yeah. Hey, that's what you think, right?
And so Roman getting the Ulafala, which is exactly what Solo said. Like, hey, like if you come get the Ulafala, like I'll acknowledge you.
Yeah.
And so, and then Jacob hit.
Yeah.
I thought what was going to happen was Tongaloa was going to show up from behind, knock down Roman, then while Roman's at a disadvantage, here comes Jimmy.
Yeah.
Because Roman getting beat down, that would have done really well for Jimmy to come back. That was a good scenario to do that. Yeah. But they can shoot something next week. I don't know if Roman's on the show next week, and obviously with you know, services for
Oh,
Alpha,
no.
uh, this could be pushed, but I don't think you're going to see a match in this story for Berlin.
I mean, we may do it. It's hard to say what they're going to do, though. I think the card right now might be pretty stacked for the most part. But I'm quite like, I almost see like a scenario where they kind of go something very similar. They did something similar to what they did many years ago when they reformed the Shield.
Mm.
I have a feeling it's going to be one of those things. Remember when Roman came out? He said, "Who said I'm alone?" Then Seth comes out. Then Dean comes out.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right?
Who said anything about rumors?
Yeah. I'm wondering if that's going to be. They're going to do something similar to that right now. But
They
like I
got to
said,
set it up though,
they they,
because
they probably will. I think the beatdown is leading to the setup of how Jimmy will come back along the original bloodline.
so let's keep in mind Roman's a free agent.
Yep.
He's a free agent, so I expect him to pop up on Raw to get Jay and Sammy.
At some point, yeah.
I think that's going to be the lead up to Survivor Series.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be probably somewhere in
Um,
probably around Bad Blood.
I think just after Bad Blood, you're going to see. I think Jimmy comes back. Here's how I think this is going.
Sure.
Like I just said, it's too early to do a match at Berlin, and that card is already really loaded, which is cool.
Yeah.
Your next show after that is Bad Blood in October.
Yeah.
You have 5 weeks to build after that.
Yeah.
That's where you can bring back Jimmy.
Yep.
Okay. And then you have the tag match like Jimmy and Roman versus fucking Gorillas of Destiny or Jacob and Solo. Okay.
Yeah.
There you have Jimmy take the pin,
Yep.
realize they're outnumbered.
Yep.
And then that's when you see Roman and Jimmy show up on Raw
Yeah.
after Bad Blood to get the new tag team champions, Jey
Mm,
Uso and Sami Zayn.
yeah.
Because if you don't think for 1 second that Jey Uso and Sami Zayn are not winning the tag titles at Bad Blood, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah. I'm sure they're gonna win it. So which leads then to if it means that if that's what you think is gonna happen, I would have to say that Hikuleo probably showing up then because
Hikuleo you can save for Survivor Series if you want.
you could, but you can also because the rumor is too, you still also have Zilla Fatu supposed to be coming in at some point as well.
Right, which you can introduce Zilla in the Royal Rumble.
That's true. Well,
You can
it
enter,
depends on what's going on with contracts and all stuff because obviously there is contracts
of
involved.
course, of course. Also, you have to factor the Rock's going to come back into play at some point.
I figure the Rock should be somewhere around the Rumble, if not War Games.
Do you think him?
I think Hikuleo comes before Rock does.
So, do you think this turns into Solo giving the Ulafala to the Rock, and then the Rock fights Roman at Mania for the Ulafala?
Probably, probably. I mean, they've been wanting to talk about this match for a long time. This makes a lot of sense
Yeah,
on how to
and
do it.
now but you add stakes to it.
Yeah,
So, like, yeah, we've wanted this match for a long time as fans,
yeah.
and
But then again, too, they might do the whole
it didn't need a title. It
no,
doesn't need a big story. It's one of the biggest stars in the world and one of the cornerstones of yesteryear versus the guy 20 years later.
yeah. But
That was the story the whole time. But now, since you inserted The Rock this year
yeah,
into the Bloodline story, now you actually have a really good story to play here.
thing is though, too, it all depends on how they're going to set up Mania up. Because right now, too, at Mania, you can go either A or B on this. It's either going to be The Rock versus Cody, or it's going to be Roman versus Rock.
Yeah, Rock's got two options, and it's really going to depend on what The Rock wants to do.
Yeah, it all depends on what they want to do
But
now.
I'll be dead honest with you. I have no problem with Rock and Cody being the Rumble title match.
I'll be honest, I have no problem with either one. If they want to do either at the Rumble or one of those at matches at Mania, I'm okay with it. The Rock is in extra condition to the point right now where he could still do another match in another year from now if he wanted to. Of
Yeah, I mean, Rock showed he can still go.
course he is.
Like he was a little blown up, but like he looked like he hadn't missed a step.
I think it was Arn Anderson or somebody else used to say too. There's a difference between, or maybe it was Zabisco. There's a difference between ring shape and being in a ring. There's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Well, yeah, exactly. Which is why nowadays, when these guys run these training camps, like your Edge, um, or your Undertakers,
well,
or
even Rock had a
whatever,
ring. Even Rock had
Goldberg,
a training camp.
exactly. But you bring in guys that are near the top of the game.
Yeah,
They get you in ring shape. You're doing 2, 3 matches a day,
yeah,
right? For however long.
yeah,
And that's in between workouts,
yeah. I
right?
mean,
And getting your body used to taking those bumps again.
yeah, because it's not exactly like a soft floor. So,
Yeah.
speak,
Go ahead.
it's a lot. There's gonna be a lot that's gonna go on in the next number of months. We have our predictions basically. I mean, we're kind of predicting kind of this right now. There might still, I mean, right now you're about a week, 2 weeks away. August 31st is Bash at Berlin. So you still have relatively two
Okay.
weeks to set up a match with Roman and Solo, if that's the way they want to go. They
Yeah.
also might have Roman go through maybe Jacob Fatu first, or
I
Roman
would
versus Tamatonga or somebody.
I exactly. So I would, if you're going to use Roman on this show,
Yeah,
I would, for story purposes, I would put him with either Tama or Jacob.
I think Tamatonga versus Roman Reigns would be awesome.
I think that's got money written all over it.
Oh yeah,
Roman with any of these guys is gonna do really well, except for maybe Tongaloa. But
I
um,
think Tonga Loa they leave to Gorillas of Destiny tag team stuff.
so that that all being said, like you have a stipulation where, and here's the thing, we haven't heard Roman speak yet.
That's the thing I was gonna get to too. I thought Roman was gonna talk tonight.
So did I.
Yeah,
And then Solo came out first, and I was like, oh, I guess not.
yeah. But saying that too, he doesn't really have to. At least not yet. So, but we're gonna see where that goes this over the next number of weeks. There's a lot more to unravel here with this story too. Speaking of bloodline, though, somebody used to fight.
Which is also why that's the last point I'm going to
Okay,
make here. But that's why I think it's too quick for a match in Berlin.
fair enough.
You haven't even heard Roman speak yet about everything that's been going on. That dude hasn't spoken a word since the go home episode before WrestleMania.
Very true. That's very true. Also, is very true too is make sure you also like, share, subscribe down below here. Thank you for all your support for all those people out there. Dude. Make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. It's right down there.
We're getting new countries involved, like Singapore
That's
and
awesome.
stuff.
That's right. Join the crowd. Join the movement, folks. Like, share, subscribe down below. Thank you. Just click. Small click for you. Big click for us. We thank you very much for all your support. But speaking of bloodline,
Go shoot us a follow on Spotify.
absolutely. But speaking of the bloodline, though, a guy who used to fight the bloodline last night was in action. Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller.
That's
Now,
not all where I thought you were going with that.
yeah, I know. So Kevin Owens versus Grayson Waller. Earlier in the night, Grayson Waller was kind of giving Austin Theory crap as to like how he got thrown on the bus to face Kevin Owens tonight. He said how Kevin Owens is useless and there's no reason why he should have a title shot. And Kevin actually showed up behind him and says, "You know, you're absolutely right. I'm 100% right. My record says it for itself. I'm absolute nonsense. I have no reason to be taking the title shot. Let's go prove you right. Let's go prove you right in the ring." Kevin Owens and Grayson Waller match. It's a fun match. It's KO. It got interesting though after KO won the match.
Yeah, boy.
Your boy, Kevin Owens, after the match was over, got attacked before he was about to throw Grayson Waller into the prime stand. They have to use that all the time. I like how Kevin likes to shoot on that. Got attacked, which brought out Cody. Now, I'm wondering here because we have Cody versus KO at Bash of Berlin.
Yeah.
I foresee this going another month, Kevin and Cody, but I foresee it going KO turning heel after Berlin. So I thought it might happen tonight, but then I
I
thought
would
myself,
not.
maybe after Berlin.
Okay, so I was thinking about this because I knew
Okay.
this was going to come up.
Yeah.
So first of all, I like that Owens was about to power bomb Waller on the apron
Yeah.
because he shouted, "You wanted the old KO? Here's the old KO."
Yeah.
And yeah, Cody Dane came down for the save, and
Yeah. The old fashioned face thing.
Owens grabs the title, looks at the title, shoves it into Cody's chest, and gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah.
That tells me I'm coming for this, but I respect you.
Yeah.
Right? They're boys.
Yeah.
Which is going to make it hurt so much more when during the match in Berlin, Owens is going to kick Cody right in the balls.
KO has been known to has a history of
Kick
turning
people
on
in the balls.
and turning on people.
He has a
Most
history
notably
of kicking
Sami
people in
Zayn.
the balls.
Yeah. He's been known for doing this. So I would
Yes.
like I'm not like I'm waiting for this heel turn to happen. Like KO heel is a good KO. Like, but KO heel, I don't want him to do the one like they did like with Jericho and all this stuff in the friendship thing. I want the KO heel turn like he was when he was in NXT, when he was the NXT champion. That Kevin Owens heel was brutal. Like,
Honestly, just KO being heel with Sammy after the Jericho stuff.
yeah.
Anyways, Cody's gonna win. We know this.
Yeah.
Cody's story is probably not ending anytime soon.
No, I don't. As much as I would love to see KO win, he's not going to win. Like, it's just not going to happen.
But knowing we're going till at least WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
who dethrones Cody?
At Mania,
Doesn't have to be at Mania.
like I said, I think we talked about this before, like past like last week or the week before that. I think it's going to be Randy that does it. I think Randy does it. I think Randy gets that 15th.
Do 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 do
Yeah,
do do do.
I think Randy
Look,
gets it.
I think Cena beats Cody to become the 17-time champion.
Oh,
Because if you don't think for 1 second, okay, actually, my version of this, Cody's already held the belt till December of next year. Remember how John said
yeah.
December will be his very last match?
Yeah.
How about that last match being title versus career?
Hmm.
But much like Trish Stratus did in 2006,
Mm-hmm.
Cena wins the title and retires. You hold a tournament the next night, or you have the winner of the Royal Rumble become the new WWE champion.
Or they could run a day because they're doing the whole day one stuff, right? They could do it on day one. Hold the tournament, and I'll just do the tournament.
Mm.
That's it. Remember WrestleMania 4 it was just a tournament for the
Yeah,
world champion.
I know where you're going
Yeah,
at. Yeah.
do that. Or yeah, you could do the Royal Rumble. Whoever wins the Rumble is champ, which would make it very interesting to see who would be the champion.
And this is where my Braun Breaker agenda comes back into play.
Oh Christ.
Oh, don't oh Christ me.
That's a Raw thing. We'll talk about that on Raw. It's fair. It's a Raw thing.
It's okay. Braun Breaker can jump to SmackDown if he wins the WWE title.
That's true. Speaking of titles, next week we got a couple title matches. We're getting
3 of them.
we're getting LA Knight versus Escobar for the United States title. We're getting the what's the third one? Because the one I'm going to
Oh,
mention
what
right
it
now,
was only 2, wasn't
yeah,
it?
we're getting the U.S. title match, LA Knight versus Escobar, and we're getting the Street Profits who won tonight.
Oh no, there is a third one. Naya and Mishin.
Oh, that's right, Nia and Misha next week on Raw, right? And the Street Profits who won tonight against the Bloodline.
What a
So
match this was, by the way.
yeah, it was a hell of a match. It was a hell of a
If
long
anyone,
match. With a
there's
lot,
2 things I want people to go back and watch
yeah,
from this episode.
no,
Actually, if there's 3 things I want you to go back and watch.
sure.
Andrade Carmelo.
We're gonna get to that shortly. We'll talk about
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. This tag match
Yep.
and the Roman segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
This tag match was off the fucking charts.
Yeah, they
Okay.
really. It was an excellent match. Both teams did. Both teams both had a lot of offense.
Shout out to the ref not actually counting 3 though.
Yeah,
You caught that, right?
I did at the end of it. Yes.
So the ref counted 2, and then there was like a phantom 3 count
Yeah.
because Dawkins jumped over the ref, and the ref didn't want to get hurt, so
Yeah.
he kind of ducked a bit, and Dawkins jumped over the ref to land on Ciampa,
Mm-hmm.
but he called the match anyway.
Yeah.
DIY was screwed.
Oh, I'm sure that's before I run through a play line too. So which leads into next week's match anyway. Street Profits versus the Bloodline. Now Street Profits had a hell of a run in that gauntlet match a couple weeks ago. I'm not really surprised. I'm not surprised
The
that
Bloodline's not losing the titles
I
this
don't
soon.
think so. Yeah, I don't think so either. But who do you think? Do you think it's going to be the Girls of Destiny, or do you think it's going to be Tama and?
They were advertising Tama and Jacob.
That's true.
They
So,
advertised Tama and Jacob. And speaking of that, don't expect them to lose those titles
soon?
anytime soon.
No. I mean,
Because there's a way you can play this
of course there is. So we play anything.
that ties back into the Bloodline story.
Yeah.
Because they can be on the verge of the Usos record for tag team title reign, like for longest title reign, except they get stopped by the Usos.
They would have to hold those titles for quite a long time.
About another year and a half.
Yeah, that's a long time from now.
The Usos held those titles for like 500 and something days.
Yeah, a lot's gonna have to change for that. So, but no, it'd be. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Street Profits won. To be honest, with you. I just don't think that's where they're going to go right now with it. Because I think they're using. I think the Bloodline is going to be using Freebird rules. If Jacob Batu can't
that's
go,
my
it's
understanding.
It's going to be Tonga Loa. So I'm okay with that too. So I think that's what they're doing. I think that's why last week you had Tonga Loa with the title in his hand. I think they're using Freebird rules. So
And Tagaloa wasn't even on this show.
no, which is kind of surprising. Well, he played the angle. He got taken out last week by Roman, and this week Roman got taken out. It was good. It was good though. It was a really good match. Excellent match. A lot of high spots. A lot of damage taken.
You want
Uh,
to talk your girl
we're,
Blair?
we're gonna get to that shortly, though. We'll get to that shortly about Drew Blair Rifle. Let's talk right now. Nia Jax celebration because that opened the show. And what did you think of that song? That was a little silly song.
By Pretty Deadly?
Yeah, I like the part where Nia Jax slapped them both in the butt. That was kind of fun. But Nia
It is
Jax,
what it is.
yeah, Nia Jax was demanding that people bow down to her. That everybody bows down to her, especially Tiffany Stratton. Stratton wasn't having it. She wasn't too thrilled about bowing down to Nia Jax. I mean, this that briefcase is going to get pretty heavy soon for her to not do it, especially if Nia Jax keeps going the way she's going. But I think Nia's
Yeah,
going to
but before this segment went completely off the rails, here comes Mishin with a kendo stick and just takes out everybody.
yeah,
And for that, she was granted a title match next week.
yeah,
But
it's
right after that was announced, she got thrown into Nick Aldis's office door.
yeah. And Nick
And
Aldis
Nick,
acted like a principal and told Nia Jax to get to his office.
yes, get in my
Get
office.
in my office, she says, because she's a bad girl. Well, whatever. But yeah, I mean,
You gotta lay off the pH, bro.
it was fine. I I don't see. I don't know how long we're gonna have to hold this title for, but I guess is Tiffany's gonna cash in at some point. Now I talked about this like a few weeks ago that he was gonna she's gonna cash in on Nia, so it's probably gonna happen soon.
Do you think that Tiffany Stratton is the next WWE Women's Champion?
Well, I think she's gonna be
Or
next.
do you think someone beats Nia, but Tiffany comes in and
I think that's probably the best case scenario in order to protect. I guess no, not really protect, but have like Nia's to be a strong force for Tiffany Stratton for her to beat Tiffany Stratton. Like it have to be like Nia would have to be taken out completely in order for Tiffany Stratton to cash in that Money in the Bank on her.
it reminds me of like a Daniel Bryan Big Show situation
Okay.
with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that one's still developing.
We'll
We'll
get back to
save the
that though.
analysis on that.
Yeah, Naomi versus
Blair Davenport, Naomi.
we are now.
As WWE, doesn't matter what regime it is, continues the tradition that if you're in your hometown, get prepared to look at the lights.
Yeah. Although you know though, Blair Davenport needed the win. She did need the win on this one too because they kind of been like she's lost a couple matches already to Naomi and other people too. So I think Blair Davenport did need the win on this in this case. And next week we're getting Naomi Cargyle and Belair versus Fire and Dawn and Davenport in a six woman match. So it was a good match. I'm glad. Like,
Corey Graves calling in the big three from WrestleMania.
yeah, Davenport needs to come up with a new finisher though. That just high knee doesn't really work too well as a finisher. I heard some people on X for that kind of like that's a crappy finisher. If she does need something better, I'm sure she will figure something out at some point. But
Or it's going to be the most over move in wrestling.
yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Uh,
Hello, Andrade.
let's get to the best match probably on the card other than the DIY match. That was Andrade versus Mello number three. And
Mello squeaks out a win after a bunch of pin reversals, but I don't think this is the best match of the three.
no, I think the
Number
first
two
one,
is.
I thought number one was really good. Two was actually excellent too, as well too. I think all three were very good. I think I'd go back and watch all three and then decide yourself. Everyone has their own different opinions on it. But you're definitely going to a number four. That's going to happen because
Looks like it, yeah.
after the match, Carmelo's doing the old gloating crap, and it was okay for a little bit. And then Andrade had to walk away, and Carmelo kept on still trying to go some more. And Andrade basically had enough of it. He just attacked the hell out of Carmelo.
Yep.
So this is going to a number four match. I'm okay with that, but I don't want it to drag on too long though because it's getting
They're gonna have Carmelo win the next one. It's basically set up to be a best of five without actually announcing it as a best of five.
Yeah. Who do you think wins the feud then? You think it's gonna be Melo or you think it's gonna be Andrade?
Andrade.
You think Andrade's gonna win? See, I prefer to have
Because
Andrade win it.
I think Andrade is going to challenge for the U.S. title at Bad Blood.
I think
You
that'd
have
be a great
Santos.
idea.
You have Santos who's going to challenge next week. I
You know,
think the
you're
next
trying to.
challenger is Andrade.
Okay, for a second I thought you were gonna suggest that that LA Knight loses that title to Santos.
No,
Okay. But let's say that's
no,
a
I
little too
don't.
early for this. That'd be a little too early, in my opinion. I mean,
In his
don't.
first defense, no,
Yeah,
he won't lose it in his first defense
yeah, I don't think that'd be a smart move on WD's part at all. I think that'd be actually a terrible idea to have LA Knight
after
lose in his
finally
first
pulling the
defense.
trigger, and then
Yeah,
just 2 weeks later he drops the title. Yeah,
yeah. To be honest, LA Knight probably doesn't need the title. He's probably better in the chase for the title. But I'd rather have it to the point where they're ready to try to strap that world title on him. I'd rather have him do that. Have him chase the title, kind of like what they did with Cody over time. Right now, let him have the U.S. title run for a little bit. You can always take him off him at. I think Andrade's going to be the future U.S. champion, though. I just don't know if it's going to happen right away, though. Back blood.
no, I think you can see maybe Andrade win it at Survivor Series.
Yeah, I think they're going to let him have a couple month run with this thing and go from there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the
uh
thing. That's the thing. We learned this with Damian Priest. Okay.
yeah,
Damian Priest was still universally hated when he won the title. He was even still universally hated after the Jey Uso match.
mm-hmm.
But something started to shift.
Yeah. I think people start getting behind him a lot more than people
Like
think they're expected to do.
it took 6 weeks to turn this dude babyface. Not even.
Yeah,
And it was organic. Like it was organic. Like he didn't just start like acting good.
no, he just
He
changed his
just
mindset. He kind of just changed his mindset. That's all he really did. He didn't
yeah.
really, he never saved
So
anybody. He was still all about the Judgment Day. He just wanted to like have change things, have be like a fighting champion, be like,
he was taking care of his business though.
yeah,
So like but that's what I'm saying. So like short title reigns, you can do a lot for somebody. It's turned Damian Priest into probably the number three babyface on Raw behind
Punk and
Jay
Seth.
and Sammy.
Yeah, yeah. Mm. Punk.
Well, yeah, I guess
You
number
have
four
Punk.
behind Seth, but
Yeah, I mean, you still have Punk there too.
oh
He might
shit.
be he might be the fifth top baby face on that show.
Yeah, but like it goes yeah.
But
So
still, I mean, that's not to be like ashamed of or even sad or bitch about.
yeah, so anyways, that's my point. LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Legato's gonna try and get involved.
Yep,
But LA Knight will find a way.
yep. LAX a better say he's a run first trauma room, so to make him forget
Well, he took a
everything.
shot with brass knucks and then pretty much no sold it into the BFT at SummerSlam. So
Yeah, that was really fast too. How he did that too, like really quick. It
yeah,
wasn't even like it was like a almost
that's called realistic selling.
yeah,
Like, yeah, you're going to be stunned for a minute, but guess what? You come back at me. If I can see you, you're getting hit.
yeah. It was good though.
Um, and then
That
I
was basically
think
it. We
I
had
think that's it.
that's all we had on SmackDown night. I said in the back door
Oh,
earlier.
I did want to ask you because for those that don't know, the reason I wasn't on last Friday is I had a tooth pulled, dental emergency. I couldn't stop the bleeding in time to do the show. So, but I did watch SmackDown. Giovanni Vinci is
Giovanni
coming back.
Vinci. Yeah.
He gets
I
kicked out of Imperium and then shadow banned to SmackDown.
yep. And I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do with Vinci on this. Uh, They
It
see what they
feels
do with
like
it.
an updated, it feels like a 2024 version of Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, but they're probably doing a lot better though.
Well, one's Italian, one's Mexican.
I
But
think they
just
make it
like
better though.
I drive fancy cars, I live the fine life. I've seen this a time or 10 in
Yeah,
wrestling, you know, but you can be effective doing it.
yeah. I think they're gonna take the mistakes they did with El Rio and they're gonna put it big and better with Da Vinci.
I listen, do you want to know where I think the ceiling for Vinci is?
Not very high.
Mid card.
Yeah,
Like US Intercontinental Champion,
there's nothing wrong with
like a
that.
exactly, like a Kofi Kingston type.
You think if he becomes a big enough star in the mid card, they might have him just do a fun challenge to Gunther one day just for shits and giggles?
Totally,
Totally feel that too. Somewhere down the
totally.
line.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. I mean, he won't beat Gunther by any means, but he'll probably do some kind of like quick match or whatever, just some kind of revenge tour thing.
All right, big guy, anything else?
I got nothing else there. Always remember here on Friday nights we were blue.
I
Happens.
mean, my shirt's navy blue.
Yeah, just a little back to that Raw thing. Red and blue over there.
I'm wearing the hat because I look like shit.
Okay, well, that's fair. Anyway, take us on out of here, folks. Join us next week for Raw's review and go from there. Take us out, there, Doug.
Thank you all for listening. Like what you hear, give us 5 stars. Go follow us on Spotify, Podbean, wherever you find your podcasts, except Apple.
Still don't
I
like
never
us.
did fi I never did figure that out.
Whatever.
Um, Socials. If you're listening to this on audio, go find us on YouTube, DA Wrestling Podcast. Socials,
Also,
DA Sports Pod.
also on
Go ahead.
Podbean as well. Find us on Podbean on that Spotify thing.
I already
So,
said that.
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Fuck me out of my rhythm.
Okay, well, sorry. Find us all on Twitter and X.
Yes. DA Sports Podcast on Instagram, DA Sports Pod on Twitter. He is Apricel1982 on Instagram. Andrew DA Sports on TikTok. I'm DLines1991 on Twitter, and we'll catch you down the road.
You guys are fine board though. We got some more videos down below here. Check it out. Have a good night, everybody.